All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for joining us on our third and final HOSA Talks of the HOSA year. We just wanted to welcome everybody and to quickly... Oh, okay. Hey, thanks, Laura. Oh, thanks, Bobby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to give everybody about a couple minutes to sort of find our live YouTube link and to make sure that everyone is sort of connected or can figure out how to get onto our third and final HOSA Talk of the year. But thank you all for joining us. So just give us another couple seconds to make sure that there are some more people coming on. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight on our third and final HOSA Talk of the year. It's definitely one for the books, and we're super excited to share a lot about our International Leadership Conference and about all of the great opportunities that you will all have at our International Leadership Conference this June in Orlando, Florida. So we wanted to start off by thanking you all for joining us and to congratulate everyone on such a spectacular HOSA year and all of the great things that you've done. So this past year, your National Executive Council was able to join 17 different states at their state leadership conferences, but we were there with all of you in spirit at your state leadership conferences, and we are just so incredibly proud of all of the great things that you have done this year. And we enjoyed being able to meet such enthusiastic HOSA members during the course of this year, and it has been an absolute honor serving you all. So with me tonight are three of your other National Executive Council members, and I would just ask for them to quickly introduce themselves and their positions, and then we'll continue on. So, officers, it's up to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenna Holiday, and I'm proudly serving as your National Region 1 Vice President.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shawnee Chaudhary, and I'm serving as your Post-Secondary Collegiate Board Representative.
And my name is Khalil Tubbs, and I serve as your Post-Secondary Collegiate Vice President.
And then finally, for those of you who might not know, my name is Elizabeth Carnesi, and I've had the incredible honor of serving as your National President over the course of this year. So thank you again for joining us. And I would actually like to talk a little bit about more information about ILC and where you can find it. So the International Leadership Conference website is up at ilc.hosa.org, and it has the International Leadership Conference guide, which is going to be a lifesaver during the conference. And it has a lot of information about what to expect at the conference, important information that you're going to need pre-conference, and definitely a lot of great resources for you all to sort of know this conference schedule and whatnot. And we would invite you all to go and look at that, and to just check out the International Leadership Conference website. There's a lot of great information, and we definitely know that it will be a good resource for you all to have. So, and if you have any questions or need any additional information, feel free to email National HOSA or any of your national officers at our respective emails, okay? So first off, I'd like to hand it off to Khalil, who's going to talk a little bit more about some of the experiences that you can expect at the International Leadership Conference.
Thank you, Liz. Listen, we are only 29 days, that's right, 29 days away from the most anticipated leadership conference of our HOSA year. First, I want to encourage every single last one of you to make sure that you join us for every session that we have. That's our opening, our recognition, and our grand awards session. Make sure that you do not miss one of those, because you never know the amazing and exciting things that are going to happen. As a matter of fact, I can remember my first ILC. I didn't know what to expect, and I remember my state director asking me me to walk across the stage with our state flag. My goodness, I was extremely nervous, but once I seen the lights, I heard the music, and the thousands upon thousands of HOSA members, I knew that every session would be one that would be filled with things to remember. So you want to make sure that you are there for that. Not only that, but your National Executive Council is extremely excited to have our keynote speaker reveal. So you want to make sure that you are keeping up with us on every social media website, that is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at National HOSA, because you never know what information may come across there, and the chance to win some really cool HOSA merchandise. Also, you want to make sure that you go on to your app store, whether you have an iPhone or even an Android. You want to make sure that you go on and download the HOSA app. All you have to do is simply type in HOSA, that's HOSA, and the app should pop up. And once that app pops up, make sure to download it, because at the conference, we are going to be sending a lot of important information that you want to make sure that you remember, such as moving on to the second round, the award session, and any important information. That's how we will get it to you. Not only that, but we want you to join in with the HOSA Fun and the HOSA competition that will be happening through that app. And all you have to do is merely just explore the app, and you will rack up some points with that, because you never know, you may come in first. So join in with that. HOSA is also really excited about something that we do every single year, which is the leadership universities. Yes, that is something that many state officers look forward to at the International Leadership State Conference, and that is headed by none other than the Michigan HOSA State Leadership Director and also the National Director, Mark Burley. I remember my first one, just having the opportunity to meet with all of the state officers from across the world, literally was absolutely amazing. So you want to make sure that you are a part of that, and that you do not miss it, because it's going to be so much fun. Not only that, but HOSA is also extremely excited about the many educational symposiums that we offer. We believe that that is going to be one key important way for you to just have some background and some knowledge about something that can help you in both your educational and your professional endeavors. So if you have free time between your events, make sure to stop by, as we believe that they will be very helpful for you. The last thing that I want to talk about is our newest addition to this year's ILC, and that is a magic show by none other than Mr. Michael Kent. I was just going through some of his information to find out that he has been named the Entertainer of the Year by the Campus Activities Magazine, and the Magician of the Year by the Association of Promotion and Campus Activities. So this will be something that will be extremely exciting. So after the recognition session, make sure that this is your next stop. If you want to find out more information about him and everything that he does, make sure to check him out at his website, which is michaelkentlive.com. That's all for me. Now I'll turn it over to Shawnee.
So if you ask anyone what their most memorable part about ILC was, they'll say that it was their friends that they made, their HOSA best friends from all corners of the world. So for that, you can find like-minded individuals at the educational symposiums, which offer a variety of different topics and exciting workshops where you're able to interact with people and learn while you're doing it. And also for our HOSA University, we have several different levels. So if you want to find another member who's interested in HOSA, go to the members HOSA University. There's ones for chapter advisors, ones for state officers. There's even one for middle schoolers this year, which is a great thing that we're really excited for, so that our members can really get excited and learn and talk with all these other members that are as excited as they are. So I remember at my first ILC, I made a friend in my competition, and honestly, I didn't expect to, because normally when you think of competition, you think of vicious competitors who are just in it for themselves, but HOSA is really about people who care, and that's something that distinguishes HOSA among other organizations, which is why we really want you to make those new friends and make those lasting memories. So along with all of that fun networking and everything at the conference, we also have our business session, which is where the voting delegates get to vote for the upcoming National Executive Council and also on our bylaw change this year. You're welcome to come and watch during the entire session, so we really encourage every single one of you to attend. So during the bylaw change that we are voting on to amend, the wording for the bylaws Article 4, Sections 1 to 5 will then read, under the bylaw change, the emblem of HOSA is the word HOSA horizontally written in the color navy with a maroon colored incomplete circle partially surrounding the letters HOS, and a tan colored triangle covered with the letter O followed by the words Future Health Professionals written in the color maroon. The colors of HOSA are navy blue, maroon, and white. The HOSA tagline is HOSA-Future Health Professionals. The HOSA Board of Directors also approved new names for our regions. So they are also rearranging the regions along with that. This is also that the membership is more evenly distributed among the regions, and it's more geographically it's more understandable in that way. So the Region 1 will now be called the Western Region. Region 2 will be called the Central Region, and Region 3 will be called the Eastern Region. So we really want this to represent our membership in the best way possible, and we want you to get excited about this change and spread the word. Also at the HOSA ILC, we'll have the HOSA exhibit hall, which happens every single year. And we have our HOSA partners with several booths with all these excited members getting to talk to these people about different materials they have, different opportunities, and really getting to make that connection with these meaningful partners that we have. So during that time, you can go to, say, the Army booth and make a personalized dog tag, as I did at my first ILC, or go see CVS Health, different partners from all different aspects of healthcare, representing HOSA and their partnership. So now I'd like to pass it on to Jada Holiday.
Thank you so much, Shawnee. We're going to talk a little bit about the dress code that is required for your opening, recognition, closing, and your competitions. So at the competitions, you are required to wear your HOSA wear and or business professional attire. This consists of a tailored navy blue blazer with the emblem affixed over the heart, which would be on your right. Along with that would be a matching navy blue slacks or knee-length skirt, a white closed-neck tailored dress shirt suitable for your tie or your scarf. And those accents can be a maroon HOSA scarf, much like the one that I'm wearing right now, or it could be the maroon HOSA tie. To top it all off, you have closed-toed blue or black shoes. And ladies, the hose are optional. You have a blue or black belt, and head covers that are required for religious purposes or to honor cultural tradition are allowed. These are needed to get into your conferences and into your session. There will be door checkers at the door as you're going into your sessions, and if you are not in proper dress, they will ask you to go back and change. Along with this attire, you will have a name badge that you will receive. That is your ticket into your sessions and into your competitions. So please have those on you at all times. Recognition. So there is a post-secondary collegiate reward session and a secondary and middle school award session. And you will also need to be in your attire, and you need your name bags for those as well. That is all I have for you, and I'll hand it back over to Ms. Liz.
All right, thank you so much, Jada. In addition to our official dress code, members are also permitted to be in business attire, which is a blue or black navy, a black or navy blue suit with a white shirt, tailored dress shirt, suitable for a tie or ascot or scarf, as well as a white blouse. Members can also choose to wear knee-length skirts or slacks, depending on their preference, as well as closed-toed blue or black shoes. A belt of blue or black is also allowed as well. And these are all required for our opening, recognition, and award ceremonies. And these are also required for your competitive events. So in your competitive event guidelines, make sure to look at what you need to be wearing for your competitive event, as that does count for some points, and you wouldn't want to lose points based off of the dress code. And so a little bit more, just to top off a little bit of what we've talked about, just a reminder to definitely go check out our HOSA app. It's full of really important information that you're going to want to check out. It has maps, information, and if you've ever gotten lost in a hotel, you're definitely going to want to have the HOSA app on you, because it has maps of everything and everywhere that you would need to go. We also want to encourage that you network with other members by obviously attending different symposiums and sessions, and definitely making sure that you talk with other members about why they're there, where they're coming from, and sharing sort of a little bit about your HOSA story. Networking also involves talking with other chapter members, as other state officers, and your National Executive Council. Every year, the National Executive Council has a pin that we have that we can hand out. So if you guys want to stop and talk for a moment to any of your National Executive Council, we should have some pins. And just sort of to remind you all about leadership time, early is on time is late, and late is left behind. So definitely keep that in mind, as this is really important for your competitive events and for any of the symposiums, because you're going to want to show up a little bit early just to make sure that you aren't late. And so before we start taking some questions, we want to talk to you all about our HOSA Day in Orlando. And our HOSA Day in Orlando is the morning of the day of closing session. And this is an opportunity for students and their chapters to go and explore a little bit of the city and to celebrate their last day in Orlando, Florida. So just to sort of start off, many of you know that Orlando is the home of Universal Studios, as well as Disney World, the most magical place on earth. And so we thought that as a National Executive Council, we would talk to you guys a little bit about some of the great opportunities and some of the cool things that you can do at either of those places. So to sort of start it off, to share a little story about Disney World is Khalil Tubbs.
Thanks, Liz. I had an amazing opportunity to go there. Actually, this past November, my very first time going, and I was there for the Christmas party, which was absolutely amazing. Listen, if you have a chance to go, not only then in November, but even this summer, they have some cool things that you want to make sure that you do not miss out on. We won't talk about it too much, but I think that was one of the moments in my life that I had a chance to revisit some of those kid years, but that's just between us. So if you have a chance, make sure to go. It will be something that you will remember forever.
And some of the cool things about Disney World is that you can travel between the different parks. Disney World is known for its multiple parks that have a bunch of different awesome attractions that you can go to between their Magic Kingdom, their Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and so many more. So definitely make sure to try and check those out if you have the opportunity. And we'd also like to talk about Universal Studios. So to talk about that, let's start off with Shawnee.
So Universal Studios has the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is something that everyone gets excited about. Whether you've read the books or watched the movies, it's something that is really transporting you to this whole other world, and all the rides there are so much fun. You can even go to Ollivander's and get a wand picked out. So it's really an exciting part of being in that world and being at Universal. So Jada will tell you a little bit more about Universal.
Much like Shawnee, going into the Wizarding World was one of my favorites, but it wasn't my ultimate favorite. I love excitement, so getting to ride all the roller coasters was just incredible. There's something about going down really fast. It's very exhilarating. I really also liked the Transformers. I watched every movie, and if there were books, I probably would have read all of them. And so it was really cool to get to see like a real live Transformer. So that was really cool, and that was really fun. So while you're there, definitely experience the rides and make those memories with your HOSA friends.
All right, thank you so much, Jada. And so now we're going to be taking some questions. If you have a question, please feel free to leave it in the comments section below. And we will be fielding many of your questions. So the first question that we had was somebody was asking about some of the educational symposiums. All of these symposiums are a great opportunity and are very unique and diverse. So some of our symposiums include Anatomy in Clay, which is a learning organization that essentially will give you clay and you get to model different body parts and skeletons and like the skeletal system. It's a hit every year, and they have, if I remember correctly, they have tables that are set out so that you can actually work with the clay the clay anatomy figures. There's also music and memory, talking about how music can trigger memories in people who suffer from things like dementia and Alzheimer's, things of that nature. We'll also have a bunch of different symposiums, like NAMI, our National Service Project, will be there, and they will be having a symposium, the Medical Reserve Corps, United States Public Health Service, and they will have a smoking cessation with a certification program, which was a hit in Virginia when they were able to do it. And so it's a great opportunity. Definitely check the ILC guide, because there will be a ton of information about the different sessions. And that's a great question, because there are so many sessions that are just fantastic. So the next question was about our keynote speaker, and I'll have Khalil talk a little bit more about our keynote speaker reveal.
Yes, the keynote speaker reveal. Once again, you want to make sure that you are keeping up with us on the social media, again on Facebook at National HOSA, and then of course on Instagram and Twitter, again at National HOSA. Over this next week, we will be giving out some hints about exactly who that keynote speaker will be, and I promise you, this will be something that you will enjoy. As HOSA, we believe in bringing you the best of the best. So make sure that you are keeping up with us there, and you'll have some opportunities to win some cool HOSA merchandise if you chime in, answer some questions and things like that. So we look forward to hearing from you.
All right, thank you so much, Khalil. So again, make sure to keep following us on social media to be caught up on that speaker reveal. So our next question is, what was your favorite educational symposium from previous years? And so I'm gonna have all of the National Executive Council that's on this call answer that question, and I'll have Shawnee start us off.
So I actually really enjoyed the art anatomy in clay workshop, because it was such an exciting idea, just being able to interact. I really like workshops where you're able to get your hands dirty and really just dive right in. So I had a lot of fun. I went with a few of my friends, so it's a really great way to spend your time there. Khalil?
Perfect, thanks. Yeah, I definitely agree with Shawnee. Just having that opportunity to kind of get in to and put your hands to some things that you may actually experience in the real world was something that kind of brings the education to life. So if you have a chance to make that happen, you should stop by.
My favorite was so last year our national service project was the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and I like going to their booth and learning a little bit more about that specific deal. I knew a couple of people who had leukemia and have gone through that, and so being educated on all the ways that they help people with that lifestyle was amazing. I also got to run our Live-In Challenge booth, and it was so much fun getting to meet all the HOSA members that came and did the Live-In Challenge, and then just advocating for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society after learning more about it was very fun. So I think this year I'm going to have lots of fun learning about the National Alliance on Mental Illness, because that will be the first educational symposium I'll stop at.
All right, thank you so much, Jada. And so one of my favorite educational symposiums that I was able to attend 2 years ago at the 2015 International Leadership, at the 2015 International Leadership Conference was the state officers workshop, the HOSA 301. And it was a great opportunity to meet other members that were also state officers. It was a great opportunity to develop and hone in on leadership skills that I needed to work on. And it was a great opportunity just to sort of learn a little bit more about how to go back to my home state and to work on training other people and helping them to develop their skills as well. So that was all of our favorite educational symposiums. And the next question is, did the National Executive Council members on this call compete before becoming national officers? So that's that's a great question. And I'll start that one off by having Jada start out.
I did compete. I competed in prepared speaking. In my home state, I placed second. And I was super excited to go to nationals and compete. It was very nerve-wracking, but I mean, what's not nerve-wracking when you're very passionate about it? Going into it, I think my favorite part was sitting down with the rest of the competitors and just talking to them and hearing about their stories and how they got over their nervousness. And it's, you know, in the moment you're not nervous anymore, because I mean, you're talking to people and then they call your name. You're like, oh, I'm nervous again. But going into it, the judges are really amazing and they're so great, and just getting to experience all that. I would say study, absolutely study, because the tests are not easy. And be confident in your competition and in who you are going into that competition. So yes, it was lots of fun. So I'll just hand that back over to Kua.
Thanks, Jada. For me, I competed in the public service announcement PSA with a group of my friends from my local career and tech center. And it was absolutely amazing. Just having the ability to pull a video together about something that we were passionate about was so much fun. Granted, yes, we did place in first. Let's go. However, I did not go to the nationals after placing at my state. However, just having that opportunity to just kind of get my feet wet and figure out, you know, what it was that I wanted to do within this org, that was my start. So competitive events, if you're looking for a place to start, that's certainly it. Shawnee.
So I've competed at both the secondary and post-secondary level, and I've loved it both times. I first did extemporaneous writing for 2 years, and for that I got 5th place at regionals my first year, and the next year I actually got into the top 10 at ILC, which was so exciting, because it kind of taught me that if I were to keep trying and keep getting better, I can achieve anything that I want. So I really want to motivate you guys to come back. If, say, you competed 1 year and it didn't really work out, say at ILC you don't place, come back the next year even stronger and even wiser, because I know that it can get tough sometimes. Just if you don't place, it's not the best feeling, but when you come back the next year even stronger, you'll be so proud of yourself that you did. And I also competed in public service announcement afterwards. So that was also really fun, just being able to be with a group of my friends and do a competition where I really got to enjoy HOSA's networking power even more. Was really fun. Back to Elizabeth.
Thank you, Shawnee. I actually had the opportunity to compete in 2 events, both at the state level, never at the national level, but I competed in prepared speaking, and then I competed in biomedical laboratory science. And both of these opportunities were just incredible, and I definitely learned a lot, and definitely understand how nervous people get, because I remember when I was in biomedical laboratory science, I just made a very silly error and I knew I had made it. I had made that error. So I definitely understand just how nerve-wracking the competitive events can be. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everybody and just celebrating with them in their victories, and at our closing sessions at our International Leadership Conference. So the next question is, what is NAMI and how was it selected? And so I'm going to pass that one off to Shawnee.
So NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So for that, it's our national service project for 2016 to 2018. So the voting delegates at ILC last year were able to come together, and they were given several options of several great organizations, and ultimately the voting delegates that are representing all of your states were inclined to choose the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So again, in 2 years, that same decision will come up in 2018, next year, it's ILC. But so we really wanted the National Alliance on Mental Illness because we saw how important mental health is for students, especially when you're going through SATs and college and everything like that. It's such a stressful time. It can be a very difficult time to really get through. So we really want to be striving to help those who need our help and making sure that mental health and mental illness is no longer stigmatized. Back to Liz.
Thank you so much, Shawnee, for that great description of our National Service Project. So our next question is, will there be an organized meeting for the alumni at this year's International Leadership Conference? And the answer is yes, there will be an alumni event on the Friday of our International Leadership Conference from 5 to 6 p.m. And so it's a great opportunity where if you're a graduating senior and about to grow into college, you're eligible for our alumni to join our alumni membership. And it's free and it's all online at HOSA.org. So please check that out. And if you are a graduating senior or an alumni who came back, definitely feel free to come and join us at our alumni event the Friday of the International Leadership Conference from 5 to 6 p.m. And then finally, our last question. Is there going to be a guest speaker that will talk about NAMI, or are there going to be any speakers that will talk about NAMI? And the answer is, again, yes, there will be. There will be a representative from the National Alliance on Mental Illness who will share their story with all of us. And so that's a great opportunity that members will also have to sort of hear a firsthand perspective of how important our National Service Project is and the sort of impact that our National Service Project has for people across the country. So thank you all so much. If there are no other questions, thank you for joining us all on our final HOSA Talk of the year. Your National Executive Council has been absolutely honored to serve you all this year, and we are definitely looking forward to seeing you all in Orlando, Florida next month. So thank you again for joining us, and have a great evening.